Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know that the video you're about to watch is a video that I made for a different channel called Entertainment Talk Nation. I've hit a little bit of a snag when it comes to having time to record a lot of things, so I'm just kind of focusing on the Goodnight and Good Luck skit character-based reviews, like I did for Life is Strange and the Maximum Ride movie. So I'm working on a new one of those, so whenever I don't have time to put together a regular review, I might pull off an old video that never went up onto the channel, Entertainment Talk Nation. I had 3 videos go up on there, VHS 1 and 2 reviews, and then Big Hero 6, and I did a lot more, but they just never really went up. So I still have them, and I think I'm going to start posting them thusly. So, I was from a few years ago, so I'm going to look a little different. I'm also wearing a fedora because I was in major neckbeard. So, anyway, yeah. So this video is a little older, but it is still a semi-solid review. Hope you guys enjoy it.
You're watching ETF. Share and subscribe.
Hello everybody and welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. My name is Ethan Carpenter and today I want to talk about a movie that had a little bit of buzz last year. And by a little bit, I mean holy crap. This movie seemed to be approaching overhype at some points in 2015. First of all, I would like to apologize that if the table moves a little bit, I am recording on my roommate's desk. The Texas Chainsaw Next Generation review had a little bit of wobble. And I'm not going to be moving around a lot because my green screen. I need to get a longer green screen. You can't see it, hopefully, but the the edges of the green screen are like here and here. So I have to find out a way to get rid of that. But that's why I go to college. Anyway, so last year there was this movie that created a lot of buzz. It was called It Follows. To the point of overhype, I heard strong acclaims that it was the scariest movie in a long time, if not ever. And or it was called a perfect horror movie. While I wouldn't say it's the scariest movie, I don't even find the movie particularly scary. But more on that later. And I wouldn't say it's perfect either, but I will say It Follows is thoroughly enjoyable. It's well written, well acted. I enjoy the story it puts forward, and the actual atmosphere in the movie is the perfect part of the movie. It may not be a perfect movie, but the atmosphere is amazing. So, I want to talk about this film, but I'm going to try and go into the plot as much as I can without spoiling anything. Going to be completely honest here, I'm not going to shed any light on the actual specific plot details of the movie, because the less you know, the more enjoyable it should be. But the premise here is that there's this thing. I will probably revert to it. There's this thing following our main character. The creature has no backstory, no motive, and no sense of caring. It is a creature that only walks. That's all it can do. It can't run at all. It can climb, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure. It breaks a window at one point and climbs into a house, but whatever. Throughout the movie, it walks toward whoever is its current target. It can also take shape into whoever it wants. Throughout the movie, it takes different forms as like an old lady or some naked chick, the main character's friend, etc., etc., and that's what the characters are trying to escape from. Our main character, named Jay, played by Micah Monroe, I hope I pronounced that right, and her group of friends are the ones trying to get away from this thing, it. What is it? It doesn't... I'm sorry, Faith No More is an awesome band. Makes it difficult, however, since Jay is the only one that can see it, and which is another interesting plot point about this creature. There's a sense that her friends don't believe that there's this thing coming after her, and that actually invokes a sincere feel of dread. It provides a tight and creepy environment. All the actors and actresses in the movie do a really good job. There aren't, however, really any complaints in the way of characters. I will say some of the scenes can be a bit awkward between Jay and one of her friends, but it's lighthearted and it works fine. A small side note is that I like how they didn't actually get supermodel-esque looking people to play the characters. They all act, look, and feel like, you know, college students or high school students, and it was a nice touch. Whoever it takes form of in the movie, actually, all of those guys do really good as well, whether it was the old lady or her friend that was also one of the other main characters. They all do a really good job. But, I mean, all you had to do was really just kind of walk creepily towards the camera anyone could do it. But hey, dang it, they did a good job. This movie is so good with tension. The atmosphere is amazing. Whenever a character is by a big window or is outside walking around, and you can look around in the background of these areas, and you see some blurry figure moving in a straight line towards the camera, that causes some real tension, because it's either the movie screwing with you or it's it. The idea behind It Follows is awesome, but it doesn't really go in excuse me, but it doesn't really go into detail, like, at all. So you know next to nothing about what it is or why it's doing these things. I'd be up for some explanations in a sequel if they decide to make one. I'm actually really interested to see its backstory. It would be pretty interesting. Remember when I said the movie isn't very scary? It isn't, but it can be. It can be scary to some people. To me, it wasn't scary, but it was very creepy, and it had a real thriller type element to it. While the movie isn't scary in the sense that, I'm afraid, it excels in the thought of, oh my god, is that it in the background? It's walking towards the camera. Is that it? Is that it? I don't know what's going to be behind me, but I'll find something. And it's like, oh my god, is that in the... Turn around and run, you idiot. And the cool thing is, there aren't that many jump scares in the movie. Jump scares, to some people, are the cancer of horror, and I can't disagree per se. I don't mind jump scares as much as the next guy, but this movie only has, like, 2, I think, and they're done pretty well. This one doesn't rely on jump scares, and it can make the viewer afraid just by its atmosphere and pacing. And the pacing's really interesting because it's a creature that only walks. There's a lot of downtime in the movie. It's not a high-paced, action-oriented horror film like a Freddy Krueger movie or something like that. This thing only walks at you. That's all it can do. So you can get in a car and you can run away from this thing, but it'll eventually catch up. One thing I didn't really like about the movie is how it kills people. You really only see one on-screen death, and it was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life, especially in context of what's going on in the movie. Something that I'm iffy on is actually kind of the sound design. I'm a big audio guy. I like music. I like audio work in movies and video games and stuff like that. And let me redo this really quick. I like the actual sound design, the sounds of, just the environment and the creepiness, and the stings, like when something, pops out at you. But I don't like the soundtrack that much. It's this really weird electronic type thing, and I'm not the biggest fan of electronic music. It's not bad. It really seems like the 80s, which fits because the movie is really, trying to emulate 80s horror. So I guess it fits, but I wasn't personally a fan of the soundtrack. All in all, very few things I just didn't... There was only a couple things I didn't like about the movie. Everything else just, far superior. What I do like, what I don't like. If you like a good, creepy movie based on old 80s horror, or just a good movie with a lot of thrills, I suggest checking out It Follows if you haven't already. Like I mentioned before, I heard a lot of hype for this movie, and I thought the hype would almost kill it for me. I went to a family video, and I'm like, hey, It Follows. I've heard so many good things about the movie, almost to the point of overhype, but it didn't kill me. It didn't kill the movie for me at all. I thought it was done very, very well. The movie is done very well. The idea behind it's cool. They did keep it open for a sequel or even a prequel, which is awesome. After I watched the movie, I did start actually noticing that people were being a bit more negative about the movie than originally I was seeing. I guess the hype finally died down a little bit, but yeah, after I actually saw the movie, I saw people online going like, this movie wasn't very entertaining, or this was stupid, or something like that. And if you think that, good on you, man. I would actually like to talk about it in the comments. If you didn't like It Follows, comment below, and talk to me about it. Anyway. But I really enjoyed It Follows. It was a really cool horror, thriller type movie. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. I'm sorry for being so vague, but it's like the plot is really... You have to understand what you're going into by not understanding what you're going into. It's one of those movies where the less you know, the better. and that's what I was trying to keep it at. The movie was excellent and worth a watch. While some things like the kills in the movie or the soundtrack were kind of iffy to me, the movie more than makes up for it with being able to thrill the viewer, and the overall directing is really nice too. Like I said, the thing where it's like when you're next to a window, like in the classroom, one of the things I was go on a tangent here. One of the things I noticed, I was able to kind of pick out horror movies, like, oh, that's from Halloween, or oh, that's from something. And some people would say that's kind of bad, but I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. But like I said, it's really cool. If you haven't seen It Follows, go watch it, go check it out. It's definitely worth your time. Anyway, guys, my name is Ethan Carpenter. Thank you for tuning into Entertainment Talk Nation. Have you guys seen It Follows? What did you think? If you liked it, comment. If you didn't like it, comment. Talk to me about it in the comment section below. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. It helps out a great deal. Thank you for tuning in to Entertainment Talk Nation, where we don't do news, we just talk entertainment. Take it easy.
Thank you for watching ETN. Don't forget to comment, share, and subscribe. Join the nation's Facebook page to meet other subscribers or visit ETN's Facebook page and Twitter page. Links for all are in the description.